Greetings, dear ones. Angela Bixby here, Energy Intuit, coming to you with the gifts of December, trance channeling from my guides for all of you for December. My guides began asking me to do this Sunday, Monday. Today's Wednesday, December 3rd, when I'm recording this. And I mentioned this in the early December energy update that I uploaded yesterday, that this would be coming this week. So I'm sitting down to work with my guides today and do this channeling. So, a little bit first about me. I am a psychic medium, consciousness mentor, trance channel, psychic development teacher, and I've been doing this work since 2010 when I landed in psychic school. It's a second career for me. I used to be in healthcare sales and marketing, and I'm very, very passionate about having found this, opened up to this, created the work that I have. I'm very, very passionate about it. And I know that this is why I'm here this time around on Earth, is to help as many people connect to their intuition as possible. And of course, to be a part of the Lightworker team that helps support humans navigate this really crazy, these transformational 20s, this crazy time when the planet's consciousness is raising and we're all moving through so much chaos, collapse, transformation at this time. So that's a little bit about me. When I trance channel, and I've been trance channeling since 2018, um, I call it trance channeling, even though I don't go into that deep of a trance state. I allow many different guides to come through me. I'm very blessed to connect with many different types of collectives and many different types of ascended masters, archangels, all kinds of energies. The one big distinction that I make, the orientation that I have and that I teach to all of my students, is that of a dimensional perspective. So I do not trans channel any energies that are not from the fifth dimension or above. That is my orientation. I have lots of reasons. And so I do not trans channel any passed on loved ones in this way. I don't trans channel lower dimensional guides or collectives for a lot of reasons. So the energies that I bring through are very much higher dimensional guides. They're often galactic. I sit with and on a number of galactic councils. I'm an ambassador on a couple of galactic councils with the guides that I sit with and channel. And so while I will not be identifying whom I am channeling, because there are so many different councils and energies that tend to speak through me during this channeling, that is what I'm doing, is I'm allowing different energies to sort of come through and speak through me to you all. Now, um, you see on this video and many others, my eyes going back and forth all the time. This is part of how I read psychically. It's sort of what my brain and my mind does when I'm doing this work. So whether I'm doing a reading for someone or whether I'm channeling, you'll often see my eyes going back and forth. I am not reading now. In other videos, you might see me reading, like the energy updates and such, and I am, but it's also the way that my brain works. It helps to, as our eyes cross the midline of where our hemisphere of the dividing hemisphere, the corpus callosum, I guess it's called, that divides both hemispheres of our brain, is located, like as our eyes cross the midline like this, it helps to stimulate our brain and both hemispheres of the brain in ways that help them work together for channeling and psychic skills. So that's part of the why. When I channel, sometimes my eyes are closed, sometimes they're open, sometimes it's a mix of both. Because while I'm trance channeling, I'm also taking in all of the different ways through all of my different psychic skills, all kinds of messages. And I'm also tuning into kind of who's next on deck that wants to come through and channel. Okay. So I wanted to set the table, set the tone a little bit about how I channel and what you might see. You might see me moving and doing lots of different things. I might make funny noises, etc. That all of those things can happen spontaneously when I channel. So all of that is really normal if any of that happens. So, what I'm gearing this short channeling to today are the gifts of December. And that is what Spirit's been talking to me about. Please share with the humans the gifts of December and all that December holds for them. So, all of my internal personal inquiry points, questions that I'm asking Spirit to share through this channeling, I'm having all of that discussion behind the scenes. So, what you'll experience is me going into the channeling and then closing the session. All right. So the gifts of December. I will go ahead and just take a moment to connect to my breath, and then I will begin the channeling. Stay tuned. Oh, yes, yes. We are here today, and we have many messages that we would like to bring through. 333 is what we're telling Angela. We will bring through three messages of the gifts of December in this channeling for you all. First and foremost, we say we are doing a standing ovation. If we had legs, we would be standing up, giving all of you humans a round of applause for the work that you have done, for how far you have made it on your planet. And it's overwhelming, you guys. I'm actually seeing all of these guides stand up and clapping and giving a standing ovation for all of the humans. It's really, really moving and powerful. We say to thee, and this is also what I do, you guys, sometimes I'll step out and speak while also then just jumping right back into the channeling. So this is Angela. This is Angela channeling that you guys are experiencing. So the first of three is that we want to say to you that the deepest gift that you have, after we've given you a standing ovation and our applause and our accolades for all that you have done and all of the ways that you have grown, on this planet, in this year, in this lifetime for many. It has been going on for that long. We say December is a turning point. So the first gift would be a connection to your souls, the depth of your soul connections. This is a month, as you call it on your calendar, in the ways that you keep track of time. This is a month where gifts and light are the orders of the day, as so many are moving through their celebrations and things that humans do in the different ways that they do, and the different sanctions and segments and factions that celebrate in all different ways, different cultures. It is beautiful from where we sit and how we witness all of you doing what you do as you move towards the ending of your calendar year. The biggest gift, this depth gift that we're leading with, this connection to your soul, is that too, is that what we have said already, is that connection to your soul. So many look outside of themselves and wonder and ponder how it is that the external forces and sources can help them to get to where they want to be, to help them move through the challenges of the day. And we say to thee that it is through the connection of your soul that you achieve this. This is the pathway. This is the way in which you access higher knowledge by going more deeply into yourself and pulling out those gold nuggets that come from your soul, your connection. It is within, it is within, it is not without. So we say to you, go deeply into your souls at this time. That is the number one gift of this month of December for thee. Your soul has all of the answers that you could want. And we understand and recognize and see the grand arch, and that this may take some time before people feel and know that they are connecting to the depths of their soul and therefore the heights of the universe. And we say, practice, practice, be there, go within, be with you, clear the schedule where you can, and sit with yourself. For your soul is the keeper of all of the knowledge that you may require or be seeking in this lifetime. So, gift number one is the depth connection to your souls. Two is the second gift. The second gift of December is that there is a bit of a fracturing happening around and in all of the spaces. So many things have come to collapse points, breaking points in many, many ways. And so many of you are feeling energy changing and shifting within each day, within many times hours, and sometimes within minutes. And we acknowledge and say that this is part of this grand fracturing that's happening across all of the dimensions. Consider it a bit when you have, we will use this analogy, the Tibetan Buddhist monks who use sand to create mandalas, and just when they have finished creating it, they then destroy it as a representation that impermanence is more prominent than permanence. And so we say to you, this fracturing, this scattering is a bit how it may feel when that mandala, all of that beautiful work of the colored sand has been laid and then it is destroyed to demonstrate impermanence. That destruction, that scattered feeling is what's happening in December. There is a coalescing of the energy, but what must first precede that would be the fracturing of the energy, and that is what we are speaking of. Long past the fractures, now in the scattering, as the pieces feel as though they're pulling apart and moving through dimensions differently. Some of what comes from this may be odd experiences with time. We say time slips, time slips. Time slips are very common now, feeling as though you're walking on one schedule and then boom, you are on another. Boom, something took 20 minutes and felt like it took 20 hours. Something took 2 hours and felt like it took 2 minutes. These are the kinds of experiences that are a function of this scattering and fracturing that are happening as the second gift of December for the humans. Gift number three would be that of silence, for it is in the silence that you hear the rings of the bell of your soul, we say. So, yes, yes, we are coming back to soul, for we are encouraging you to sit with the gift of silence and listen from that solitude, from that quiet, still space to the great beyond. For these are the spaces and the places when you hear your source, your God, your guides, your higher self. Whatever fits within your belief system at the present moment, for it all is changing and changing, and that is okay. It is meant to change and evolve. We say to thee, sit in the solitude and receive from those sources that you feel you are hearing the still small voices from. The gifts of silence are many, for from the silence, great ideas are born. Creativity ignites and play is had and fun is had, and it becomes harder to play the same tunes. Consider a needle on a record player. This is what they're showing me. And consider how it moves through the grooves. And if you continue to repeat the same song, it is as if you are moving in the same loops and the same ruts. When you give yourself the gift of silence, you open up to new ways of doing things, new ways of constructing things, new ways of seeing things, perhaps new loops, new songs to play. These are the gifts of silence. Many ideas will be born from this space and will have you feeling supported as you begin your fresh year in 2026. And so we say to you, it may feel challenging, it may feel less manageable in a month with so much on your schedule. And we say to you, really call what is important and what is not. For this time in solitude, this third gift of December is an important one for everyone. That may mean 5 minutes, it may mean 5 hours, it may mean 5 days. That is very personal to all who may be consuming this. We say, trust that a little bit of time alone with you and your soul and your connection to your deeper self is the pathway forward. We shall remind you that the first gift is that of the depth of soul. The second gift is the scattering and the fracturing of the energy at this time, for it affords lots of opportunities. How might we review this? We say that your access to different possibilities is increased with this fracturing, is the best way to say it. The scattering of the energy, this feeling as though things are breaking apart once and for all in new ways. And we mean this on many, many, many levels. We mean that the concept of how you run your business might be being pulled apart now and you're deciding to move in new ways. This would represent the fracturing or the scattering of the energy. You may feel as though the 5 things that you do hobby-wise are too many and you want to condense it down to 1 or 2. These are the examples that we speak of. We speak not of destruction in painful and scary ways, for we never endeavor to instill fear in our children on the planet, for all of thee are the children of the universe and our children, and we are thee and thee are we. And so we say to you that love is most prominent in our intentions, and we do not offer guidance from fear. And we recognize the need to clarify, for so much spills forward and forth and through so many at this time, that we'd like to make it clear that the scattering and fracturing of the energy is meant to create and facilitate opportunities for you. If you do not like how you've been doing something, you can simply jump to another shard, another fractal, another possibility of potential at this time. That is the beauty and the gift in the scattering and the fracturing of the energy right now. We say to you again as we review number three, solitude, time within, solitude with yourself will bring you loads of gifts. Trust that you are comfortable in this, for that is often what many humans get to overcome. The big hurdle is, wow, how long do I have to do this? Wow, how hard is this to sit in silence for 3 minutes, 5 minutes? We say challenge yourselves. Challenge yourselves in all of the ways that you may to incorporate and enjoy these gifts of December as you will. Thank you. Thank you. We are one.